Ever gotten a new card from your bank with a new expiration date? I'm sure you have. Did you wonder after getting that new card how your subscriptions would know about it? Well, your customers have the same concern. In this video, you are going to learn how to have your customers update their own payment details for you. We all hate it when our cards expire. It is such a pain. Wouldn't it be nice if we knew that we needed to update it before the card expires? Well, Chargent customers do this automatically directly from Salesforce. Let me show you how. To accomplish this, I'm going to be demonstrating Chargent's Account Updater. My name is Stacy from Chargent, and if you're a Salesforce admin or consultant who wants to learn about payments to be a superstar for your organization, then smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you don't miss anything. First, let's talk about a couple of quick techie details. Chargent's Account Updater is a Salesforce scheduled job that checks the expiration dates of your customers' or donors' credit cards to see which ones will be expiring within the coming months. For the credit cards which are going to expire, the Chargent Account Updater feature automatically emails a secure link to your customer for them to click on to update their credit card. This secure page is hosted on your own Salesforce site. We made sure that it is completely brandable, secure credit card pay form, where your customers can comfortably enter their payment information. This saves you from having to bother them with a phone call and ensures your customers that they will continue to get your service. Most importantly, they never need to remember to check for expiring cards or contact customers in advance. The Account Updater proactively does the outreach in the background every day. This feature is especially beneficial if you are doing recurring billing, such as for subscriptions, memberships, or for installment payments. Expired cards can be a big problem in terms of lost revenue, involuntary churn, and negative experiences for your customers. So using a tool like Account Updater that automatically requests new payment details before a card expires and creates a problem can be a big help. Most importantly, this feature will help to ensure that your customers' recurring billing schedules are not interrupted, allowing you to collect payments faster and easier. Speaking of easier, we actually compiled a list of 10 ways to make Salesforce payments safe, easy, and profitable. It is available only to people like you that watch these videos. Look in the description of the video. You will find a link to download this exclusive content. Okay, so how do we get going with Chargent's Account Updater? First, Account Updater uses the functionality of the Chargent Payment Request feature. So it is absolutely imperative that the Chargent Payment Request feature is configured properly prior to setting up the Chargent Account Updater feature. Once the Chargent Payment Request feature is configured, it only takes a few minutes to set up the Chargent Account Updater feature. Following Salesforce guidelines, we recommend setting it up in a Salesforce Sandbox prior to deploying it to production in order to test. If you are going to be using a partial or full sandbox for testing, we recommend to use Salesforce's data masking feature in your sandbox to ensure that your customers are not inadvertently emailed during your testing. Let's set up the Chargent Account Updater feature now. Here are the steps. Step 1, schedule the Apex. For our first step, we are going to schedule the Salesforce Apex for the Chargent Account Updater feature. First, go to Salesforce Setup and then type in Apex classes in the quick find box. Click the button Schedule Apex here. Type a name in the job name field, which makes it easy to remember what this Apex is used for, such as Chargent Account Updater. In the Apex class field below, click the magnifying glass just to the right. In the search box, type T Chargent, and below in the search results, click on T Chargent Check Cards. In the section for frequency, place a checkbox next to each day that you want the Apex to run. Next, be sure and set the end date to several years out. Lastly, set the preferred start time for the Apex to run. Chargent recommends to schedule it for the middle of the night when no other Apex are processing. However, you are in control of what time to set the Apex to execute. Click Save, and you're done with the first step. Step 2, set the criteria. The second step is to populate the SOQL statement in Chargent settings in order to direct the Account Updater job to only check for expiring cards on recurring Chargent orders. If the SOQL is not populated correctly in the setting, your customers who have expired cards on orders that are no longer being billed can receive emails that are not relevant. So be sure not to skip this very important step. To populate the SOQL statement, click the Salesforce app launcher and navigate to Chargent settings. Then click on the Advanced Settings tab. Here you will see the Account Updater settings. In the field Account Updater Search Criteria, enter the following SOQL statement. Chargent orders, payment status equals recurring. Be sure not to include the outside quotations that you see here in your SOQL statement. If you are using a legacy Chargent package, which is not the Chargent orders package, contact the Chargent support team to obtain the SOQL statement, as it will be different for your org. Step 3, the Account Updater email template. For the next step, we are going to look at the email template for the email which is sent to customers. Go to Salesforce Setup and type Classic Email into the Quick Find box. Click on Classic Email Templates. In Classic Email Templates, update the folder to view the Chargent templates. Next, click on one of the Account Updater email templates below. Here you can see the text and the merge fields being used in the email. You can edit the text in the template, and you can also edit the merge fields. The trick with the merge fields is that they must be fields on the email notification object. If you would like to use fields from a different Salesforce object, you can create custom formula fields on the email notification object to map the fields from the other object there. Step 4, do a test. Now that you have the Account Updater feature configured, our next step is to do a test and see the feature in action. Before we do the test, add Account Updater logs and email notifications as related lists on the Chargent order page layout. Set up a Chargent order record with a credit card that is set to expire during the current month. Complete the Chargent order record with the required information. Most importantly, be sure to set the expiration month and year to the current month and year, and also be sure to set the payment status field to recurring. Remember the SOQL statement we set up. And lastly, be sure that the billing email contains your email address so that you will receive the Account Updater email. Now you can either wait for the Apex to execute at the time that you scheduled it in step 1, or if you want to execute the batch right now, you can do this in the Developers Console on demand using the code shown on the screen here. You can copy and paste this from the video description also. Since you indicated your billing email address on the Chargent order record and a credit card which is expiring in the current month, the Apex executes for our test. You should see an email in your inbox containing the secure link to update the credit card details. Click on the link and enter in new card details. Now navigate back to the Chargent order in Salesforce, and you will see that the new card details are there. You can see how this Chargent feature will prevent customers and donors' recurring payment schedules from being interrupted due to their credit card expiring. And isn't using Chargent automation way faster and way easier than calling all of your customers to get their new credit card details? We think so, and we have hundreds of customers who agree with us. This Account Updater is one of our most popular features. While you are reviewing the Chargent order in Salesforce, you will now see an Account Updater log as well as an email notification record in the related lists. Click into the email notification record. Notice that here you can find the Account Updater link. You can copy it from there and place it elsewhere, such as in a more personal email from your personal inbox. And now check out this next video, where you will learn all about payment requests so you can optimize your use of the Account Updater. My name is Stacy, and at Chargent, we're dedicated to helping Salesforce customers like you keep your payments simple. And remember, we're always here to help.